I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but he's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Mayweather's definitely better. He was better when they fought him because he was more technically sound and knew how to do things. Whereas
and Floyd Mayweather understands that. Guess what? Styles make fights. He understands styles make fights. And he understands the greatness of Terence Crawford.
Joe Rogan recently shared his thoughts on who would win in a hypothetical fight between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He praised Mayweather as one of the greatest boxers in history, reminding fans just how dominant he was during his prime. Rogan pointed out that many people tend to overlook the level of competition Mayweather faced and how much he achieved against elite opponents. When comparing him to Terence Crawford, Rogan admitted it would be a tough matchup. However, he emphasized that Mayweather's defensive brilliance and exceptional ring IQ would make him incredibly difficult to beat, even for someone as talented as Crawford.
Floyd was in his prime. That would have been fucking incredible to see which style's superior.
Yeah.
Because Floyd would move towards you like this. He would just get right up on you. But just show you how good Floyd really is.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he's won decisions by, playing it safe, people that just don't get excited about him and they recognize him with the all-time greats. He's the best.
Analysts have acknowledged Floyd Mayweather's legendary status as a Hall of Famer, noting that his career accomplishments remain virtually unmatched at the same time. They praised Terence Crawford, recognizing him as a current pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. Both Mayweather and Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez in their respective eras, but in distinctly different ways. Analysts emphasize that comparing the two is challenging, as each fighter dominated with their own unique style and strengths. Choosing a winner between Mayweather and Crawford feels nearly impossible. Both represent the absolute pinnacle of boxing excellence.
It won, in my opinion, 10 rounds to 2. If you want to be, generous, 9 rounds to 3. But he clearly won the fight against Canelo Alvarez. Clearly. And Floyd Mayweather understands that, guess what? Styles make fights. He understands styles make fights. And he understands the greatness of Terence Crawford. And he stated on numerous occasions that, guess what? Terence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. And he believed it. He put his money where his mouth is. And it held to be true, period. So, again, and I hate to do this and I hate to keep saying this, right? But people try their best to try to pit Terence Crawford against Floyd Mayweather, right? Who's better? Who beat Canelo Alvarez better? Who did it better? So on and so forth, right? The fact remains is this. They both outclassed him. They both won in dominant fashion. And styles make fights, right? And the style that Terence Crawford presents, the style Floyd Mayweather presents, now they do it different, is too much for Canelo Alvarez, period. Point blank and period.
Bob Arum recently shared his thoughts on a fantasy matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He believes that Crawford would come out on top, even the fight took place during Mayweather's prime. According to Arum, Crawford has a rare combination of adaptability, speed, and ring intelligence that sets him apart in today's boxing world. He emphasized that Crawford's ability to adjust to any opponent would give him a decisive edge, even against a defensive genius like Mayweather.
What's up, fight fans? Prime for prime. Who wins a fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Bud Crawford? Bob Arum says Bud. Do you agree?
For prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Trainer Greg Hackett offered insight into why Canelo Alvarez himself admitted that Terence Crawford's win over him carries more significance than Floyd Mayweather's. Hackett explained that when Mayweather faced Canelo, the Mexican fighter was still young and relatively inexperienced at the elite level. In contrast, by the time Crawford defeated Canelo, he was a fully developed, seasoned world champion. That's why, according to Hackett, Canelo views Crawford's victory as more meaningful. It came against a stronger, more mature version of himself.
Is way better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. What's your thoughts on his statement, and do you agree with the sentiment?
Him saying that, I can't say he capping. I can't, because I don't know what he felt. But when I heard that, what I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game, and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit, though, for beating Canelo. And Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight.
Commentators Simon Jordan, Adam Smith, and Duke McKenzie reflected on the atmosphere leading up to Floyd Mayweather's showdown with Canelo Alvarez at the time. Canelo was undefeated, significantly bigger in both size and weight, and many believe that 36-year-old Mayweather was taking on more than he could handle. Analysts predicted that Canelo's youth and power might finally be enough to hand Mayweather his first career loss. However, the fight told a different story. Mayweather delivered a defensive masterclass, completely neutralizing Canelo's offense and proving the doubters wrong with a dominant performance.
Terence Crawford, they were all the question marks. Could he do that? Could he cope with the power of Canelo Alvarez, who's adapted now and had to adjust in his career? He now throws single shots. And that's why it was the calculated gamble. Well, it wasn't really a gamble because me and Simon called it from the beginning.
Right.
That we go, Mayweather ticks every department. You go, the only thing that people are hedging their bets on is that Canelo's the bigger guy, but he wasn't really anyway.
Nah.
You can see because Crawford come down from 185 anyway. You can see the physicality's in there. He was all the size of Canelo.
As Edward said long before this fight, I just think styles make fights. And Canelo's style, this style of Canelo, was suited for Crawford.
Indeed.
He can't throw combinations anymore. There's no more head movement from Canelo.
Yeah.
He tries to walk people down and hit you all over the body and all over the head if he can, but he can't put his combination. He can't sustain the combinations. And what really impressed me about Crawford was the fact that it was a question of like he didn't want to trade off early with Canelo. He traded late with Canelo because he couldn't take his power early. So in the early rounds, he was just pity-patting and just tapping him, kept spinning him, kept turning him and driving him mad. And then in the later rounds, as Canelo started to fade, from round 7, round 8, as the pace got a little bit slower, then Crawford's confidence, he was confident enough within himself to stand and trade with him. Yeah. And even when he got on inside, he was hitting him with like 3s and 4s, hard shots, constant shots. He just kept spinning him, kept turning him, and Canelo didn't really know where he was. And another great thing about Crawford, he stayed southpaw throughout the whole fight, and Canelo admitted after that he couldn't handle a southpaw.
Couldn't work it out
whatsoever.
Adam, we had Paulie Malignaggi on the show the other day with myself and Jim, and I want you to listen to what he had to say and see what you think of it.
I think Canelo has been, for a while,
Shane Mosley, a former world champion who shared the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, offered a unique and authoritative perspective few can match. Drawing from first-hand experience, Mosley emphasized how Mayweather's style set him apart from Canelo in every possible way. He pointed to Floyd's impeccable timing, his ability to read opponents, and his total mastery of ring control. Even when under pressure or facing physically stronger opponents, Mayweather had the intelligence and adaptability to neutralize threats with surgical precision. while Mosley acknowledged Canelo's power and skill. He made it clear that the Mexican star couldn't match Floyd's ability to dictate the pace and direction of a fight. Having faced both men, Mosley concluded that Mayweather operated on a higher level, proving himself to be the more complete and dominant fighter.
He did everything, man. He's the man.
Absolutely. You fought both Canelo and Mayweather. I was surprised to hear Canelo say that straight after the fight. I mean, credit to him, he's been really humble in defeat. You fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather, but who did you think was better out of Canelo and Mayweather?
Mayweather's definitely better. He was better when they fought him because he was more technically sound and knew how to do things. Whereas Canelo had more power and placed the shots probably better. No, he didn't place the shots better. He was just younger and placed the shots really good. Like Canelo was really good at 21 years old. Like I was impressed. I was very impressed with Canelo at 21. But Mayweather was still technically more sound. Go ahead.
Did you believe or do you agree with the fact that Canelo is saying Crawford is better than Mayweather from an outsider's perspective, having not fought Crawford? Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well.
Another perspective sheds light on the generational shift in boxing greatness. While Floyd Mayweather is widely respected as one of the greatest of all time, some argue that if he were to face Terence Crawford today, Crawford would come out on top. The reasoning centers around timing. Mayweather has already dominated his era, cementing his legacy, while Crawford now leads this generation as its most dominant force, as with all legendary fighters. Each has their moment. And in today's era, it's Crawford who carries the mantle of boxing excellence.
It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Absolutely, and I noticed when I asked you, there was a slight pause. It's a real conversation now to be had. Crawford, up there with the likes of Mayweather. He's really etched himself into the Mount Rushmore conversations.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's definitely one of the GOATs.
Joe Rogan praised Floyd Mayweather not just for his in-ring skills, but also for his remarkable discipline outside the ring. He highlighted how Mayweather managed to stay in peak condition throughout his career, despite the distractions of wealth, fame, and a high-profile lifestyle. Unlike many athletes who lose focus over time, Floyd remained consistent, never let his ego or outside influences derail his performance. Rogan admitted that if Terence Crawford were to face Mayweather at his peak, it would be the ultimate test of Crawford's greatness, demonstrating just how high the standard was that Mayweather had set.
The idea of pulling up at a yacht is the end. It's the opposite of what everybody tells you about fighting. The only person who's been able to do like that is Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still fucks everybody up.
He does.
The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline.
But through that balling night, I don't think he was doing drugs or drinking.
Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, he'd be partying. It looked like he's partying, he's drinking water. And then he would have his driver drive, and with his fucking jeans on, he would jog home. I mean, the dude was always training.
Trainer Abel Sanchez shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's current standing in the sport, recognizing him as a true superstar. Sanchez emphasized that Crawford's rise isn't just about his undefeated record, but the high caliber of opponents he's faced and the dominant way he's beaten them. According to Sanchez, Crawford's global recognition is well-deserved, firmly cementing his place as one of the best fighters in modern boxing.
I thought Terence fought a virtuoso fight. Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer, confidently declared that after Crawford's latest victory, there should be no doubt about who dominates the current boxing scene. He stated that Crawford is the greatest fighter of this era, highlighting his technical brilliance, dominance across multiple weight classes, and his ability to overcome every challenge he's faced. For Bomac, Crawford has already proven everything necessary to be recognized as a definitive face of his generation.
How are you feeling to be Chris Eubank's trainer, first of all?
It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been this trainer before, so
Yeah, it's good.
it's a no-brainer.
Of course. Congratulations on the win. What's your first reactions to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Do what he at this point now in his career where he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
Rob Aosta reacted strongly to Terence Crawford's latest performance, admitting that he would never doubt him again. Aosta explained that Crawford consistently proves his doubters wrong, no matter the level of competition he faces. Whenever fans or analysts expect him to struggle, Crawford responds to a masterclass performance. Aosta's remarks reflect a wider consensus in the boxing community. Crawford has earned unwavering respect as a consistently dominant and unstoppable force in the sport.
I stood on it, and I'm not going to change what I said in the past or anything. I didn't think he could pull it off. He did. And not only did he pull it off, he did it. He was phenomenal. Like, he did it. He did everything right. Like, it's like he fought a perfect fight. He banged with him when he needed to. He boxed him when he needed to. He established the jab. He kept the southpaw. He kept him frustrated. I got nothing, bro. I tell you what, I would never go against that man again. I ain't doing that shit. That shit was crazy. But I do want to give a credit to those that deserve it. Like, Terence deserved full credit for his abilities, for his IQ, Bomac for his coaching, and Bomac told him to stay southpaw. He wanted to come out orthodox. Bomac told him to stay southpaw because of what Canelo was weak at.
Terence Crawford has weighed in on the fantasy matchup against Floyd Mayweather, confidently stating that if they ever fought while Mayweather was his prime, he would come out victorious. This remark highlights Crawford's strong self-belief and competitive spirit, qualities that have driven his success throughout his career. While fans continue to debate who would win, Crawford's confidence in his own abilities reflects how firmly he believes in his place in boxing history.
So if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody. I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Andre Ward, former champion and close ally of Terence Crawford, spoke with the wisdom of someone who has experienced the highs and pressures of boxing firsthand. Rather than urging Crawford to pursue more fights or entertain fantasy matchups, Ward suggested that now might be the perfect time for Crawford to step away from the ring. In Ward's view, Crawford has already secured his place among the all-time greats. He has moved up through weight divisions, defeated elite opponents, and delivered performances that will be remembered for decades. Ward emphasized that retiring while still at the top would preserve Crawford's legacy in its purest form. He cautioned that many fighters stay in the game too long, chasing paydays or trying to prove something, only to risk tarnishing their achievements with unnecessary losses. Ward doesn't want to see that happen to Crawford. For him, the best way to honor Crawford's career is to retire undefeated in spirit and unmatched in respect.
The league, I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better way? Who you gonna fight? I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today, somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, We don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight and 2 weight classes since the Madrimov fight, my last fight. This is the perfect send-off, Roy.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Without a
It's the
question.
perfect send-off.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more. Until next time,